Kim Burbrink demoted for involvement in Breonna Taylor investigation. All right, so this is going to be pretty interesting, guys. Another cop has been demoted because of their involvement in the Breonna Taylor situation, and it is pretty interesting how the cards are flopping here. This is written by Daniel Villarreal on February 2nd, which was yesterday. Kim Burbrink, the Louisville Metro Police Department LMPD major who oversaw officers involved in the March 13th shooting death of 26-year-old black woman Breonna Taylor, has been demoted to lieutenant after allegedly defying an order from her commanding officer not to question departmental investigators looking into her department's behavior in the raid that led to Taylor's death. In a January 19th memorandum, Chief Eric Shields wrote to Burbrink, "You failed to follow a direct order given to you from Lieutenant Colonel Andy McClinton to not contact or ask questions regarding any investigations pertaining to the criminal interdiction unit." While the memorandum didn't include complete details of Burbrink's failure in following McClinton's order, one instance may have involved Burbrink's attendance of a May 14th virtual briefing with investigators. Burbrink was commander of the LMPD's interdiction division, the division being investigated. So again, she's the commander of the division that's being investigated. So again, she should definitely shut up because of conflicts of interest, obviously. According to Sergeant Jason Vance of the Public Integrity Unit, PIU, Burbrink reportedly asked pointed questions, casting doubt on the PIU's evidence collection methods at the shooting scene, WDRB reported. When the investigators mentioned that there had been inconsistencies in Detective Brett Hankerson's account of the raid, Burbrink allegedly requested specifics despite the fact that investigators considered such details sensitive information. Vance wrote that it seemed as if Burbrink was conducting a cross-examination of the investigators. Investigators apparently requested then Deputy Chief Robert Schroeder and other high-ranking department officials that Burbrink not attend the virtual briefings in the first place because she was considered an informational witness. The then Deputy Chief Robert Schroeder later apologized for Burbrink's behavior, calling her attendance of the meeting a mistake, according to Vance. In addition to being demoted, Burbrink was also moved from her old division to the Special Operations Division. At the time of her demotion, she was also under investigation for the October 16th conversation she had with Major Michael Shue, though details about that investigation haven't been released by the LMPD. I consider the demotion and transfer to be both appropriate and necessary to the maintenance of good order and discipline within the department, Shields wrote in the memo announcing Burbrink's demotion. Police shot Taylor 5 times after knocking down her apartment door with a battering ram after midnight on a no-knock search warrant in pursuit of 2 suspected drug dealers who weren't in her apartment. On June 19th, the LMPD delivered a letter firing Hankerson. In it, then Police Chief Robert Schroeder wrote that Hankerson's actions were a shock to the conscience and represented extreme violations of the LMPD's operating regulations and departmental rules regarding the use of deadly force. On September 23rd, the state of Kentucky announced 3 grand jury indictments against Hankerson for wanton endangerment in the first degree.
Seems to me
the indictments against him didn't pertain to Taylor's death, but rather his shots fired during the raid that traveled through walls into nearby apartments during the raid. He was the only of the 3 LMPD officers criminally implicated for their roles in Taylor's death and was also the only officer fired. Newsweek contacted the LMPD for comment. I'm pretty sure that they didn't get back to you. Oh my God, I'm pretty sure they didn't want to reach back out to you. Pretty sure that the phones are busy. You know, the phone lines, them damn phone line gremlins, you know. They got them tongue, you know. You know how that go.